Look, don't shoot me, I'm just a messenger. Now, there's a reason why the Bible calls life a race. Not a sprint, not a quick dash, but a long-winded journey of endurance. And just like a race, some people may start ahead, but God expects you to finish strong. What is going on, my beautiful family? You already know who it is. Today we are going to break down how life is just like a race and how we can run our race with purpose, consistency, and victory. All right, before we get started, please join the fam by pressing that subscribe and like button. Let's talk about it. All right, so the first point we're going to talk about is the starting line. We do not choose our beginning. But in Jeremiah 1 verse 5 it says, God knew you before you were born. You see, God knew you just like he knew Jeremiah long before you were born or even conceived. Whether you believe it or not, he thought about you and he planned for you. So whenever you feel discouraged or inadequate, remember God has always thought of you as valuable. He loved you and he created you for a purpose. Some people are born into wealth. Some are born into struggle. Just like some get to see what love looks like early on, where others have to learn survival before they learn peace. For example, maybe you grew up watching others get support that you never had. Maybe they had tutors and you had to be self-taught. Maybe they grew up in a safe home and you had chaos and noise. They may have had connections and you had to pray for chances and opportunities. Whatever the case may be, your start does not determine your finish. All right, let me get to the second point. Your pace is unique. If you turn to Ecclesiastes 9 verse 11, it says, I have observed something else under the sun. The fastest runner doesn't always win the race, and the strongest warrior doesn't always win the battle. The wise sometimes go hungry, and the skillful are not necessarily wealthy, and those who are educated don't always lead successful lives. It's all decided by chance, by being in the right place at the right time. You see, the race is not to the swift, even though it seems like some people take off fast, whether it be success, early achievement, or popularity. For example, you probably watch classmates get married, get promoted in their career, or even start a business while you still feel like you're stuck at mile 2. But the truth is progress, even if it's slow. You see, slow motion is better than no motion. Your unique pace is part of your unique purpose. Just make sure you're doing your part. All right, let's talk about point number 3, how your obstacles build strength. If you look at James 1, verse 2 through 4, it says, your trials produce endurance. What does that mean? Well, we can't really know the true strength of our character until we see how we react when we're under pressure. We may find that being kind to others is way easier when everything is going well. But will we still be kind when others treat us unfairly? You see, God wants to develop us into complete human beings, not just simply insulate us from all pain. And enduring through trials is what is going to generate a whole person. Meaning you will be seasoned, experienced, well-developed, and fully trained. This is what gives us the life skills to see our blind spots and anticipate mistakes before we make them. So instead of complaining about our struggles, we should be looking at them as opportunities for growth. Then the most important thing, be patient. Do not move. Stay still. God will not leave you with your problems. He'll stay close to you. Instead, change your mindset and thank him for walking with you through your rough times. So if you ever went through a heartbreak, lost your job, or even been through depression, I need you to ask yourself, is this really the end? Or is God just putting me through training so I can learn what I need to learn to build my character? Don't ever forget, every obstacle has a purpose, and that's to make you stronger than before. All right, let's go over the last point I want to cover today, and that's going to be stand in your lane. All right, turn to Hebrews 12 verses 1 and 2, and it says, therefore, since we are surrounded by such a huge crowd of witnesses to the life of faith, let us strip off every weight that slows us down, especially the sin that so easily trips us up, and let us run with endurance the race God has set before us. Then it says, we do this by keeping our eyes on Jesus, the champion who initiates and perfects our faith. Because of the joy awaiting him, he endured the cross, disregarding its shame. Now he is seated in the place of honor beside God's throne. That's deep. That's deep. You see, long distance runners, they work hard to build endurance and strength. I don't know if you ever noticed in a race, but on race day, the runner's clothes is lightweighted and their body is lean. In fact, in the ancient world, the runners competed naked. Now, I'm not saying we have to run the race naked, guys, but to run the race that God has set before us, we must also strip off any weight that's going to slow us down. Well, how can we do that? 1. Choose friends who are also committed to the race. You see, unfortunately, non-believing friends will have activities and values that may deter you from your course. Number 2, just drop certain activities. Whether that be constantly checking messages that aren't productive or important, spending hours a day just watching TV or playing video games, or just spending your hard-earned money on unnecessary things. You see, these may be adding unnecessary weight. Try dropping those for 30 days, then check to see the results in your life. And number 3, get help with addictions that disable you. So if you have a secret weight that's holding you down to the point where you can no longer grow, whether that be pornography, gambling, painkillers, alcohol, what you need to do is admit that you need help, pray to God for strength and guidance, and seek professional counseling. Listen, comparison is one of the biggest distractions in life. Looking at somebody else's race will slow you down every time. Because in reality, you're judging your 3rd mile to somebody's 15th mile. So focus on your race, because your lane is where you're going to find your blessings. Now, tomorrow we will finish the last 3 points of the race. So please drop a comment. Please press subscribe so we can finish it out. Until then, I need you to keep your head on a swivel, love yourself, and only help who wants to be helped. I love y'all. I'm out.